I still remember the morning when Mr. Daniel walked into my clinic. He was 76, a retired engineer who loved his routine coffee at 6:30, a short walk around the garden, breakfast with his wife, and a crossword puzzle before lunch. But one day, his routine nearly ended. That morning he woke up, sat up too fast, and felt the world spin. His vision blurred for a second, and he thought maybe he'd just gotten up too quickly. He took 2 steps toward the bathroom, and then everything went black. When he opened his eyes again, he was lying on the floor, his wife kneeling beside him, tears in her eyes, calling his name. Luckily, he came around quickly, and after a few tests, we found that his blood pressure had dropped sharply the moment he stood up. What saved him, he said later with a shaky laugh, was that he'd landed on a carpet instead of the tile floor. But it could have been so much worse. That day, as I sat with him, we talked about something I now tell every senior patient I meet: the 3-minute rule. It's a simple habit that could have prevented Daniel's fall, and it might just save your life too. The idea is simple. Before you rush out of bed, before you stand up and start your day, take 3 minutes to let your body wake up with you. 3 minutes to breathe, to stretch, to let your blood flow catch up with your heart. Most people don't realize that the first few moments after waking are some of the most vulnerable minutes of the day, especially for seniors. The body transitions from rest to movement, from horizontal to vertical, and the sudden change in pressure can make the brain and heart struggle to synchronize. That's why strokes, fainting spells, and even heart attacks happen most often in the early morning hours. When I tell patients this, they often smile politely, thinking I'm exaggerating. 3 minutes, doctor. Can that really make a difference? And I always answer, yes. Because in those 3 minutes, your body is deciding how to start the day calmly or in chaos. Your blood pressure stabilizes your breathing, deepens your heart, finds its rhythm again after hours of sleep. It's the difference between easing your car out of the driveway and slamming the gas the moment you turn the key. The older we get, the more our bodies need that gentle transition. I like to call it the 3-minute handshake between your mind and your body. During those quiet moments, you're checking in with yourself. Are you dizzy? Are your legs steady? Does your chest feel light or heavy? These small observations can reveal so much. I once had a patient who used those 3 minutes every morning to do what she called her body roll call. She would breathe slowly, wiggle her fingers, stretch her toes, and say softly, "Good morning, hands. Good morning, feet. Good morning, heart." It might sound simple, even silly, but that little ritual once alerted her to a subtle weakness on one side of her body, which turned out to be the early warning sign of a minor stroke. Because she caught it early, she recovered fully. When I share stories like these, people often ask, why 3 minutes? Why not 1 or 5? And the answer lies in biology. The human heart pumps blood upward against gravity, and as we age, our blood vessels become stiffer, our reflexes slower. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes for circulation to fully adjust after we change positions from lying down to sitting up, then to standing. If you rush, your brain doesn't get enough oxygen fast enough, and that's when dizziness, lightheadedness, or fainting can occur. For younger people, the body compensates instantly, but for seniors, it needs time. Think about how your morning usually begins. Maybe your alarm rings and you sit up right away. Your mind is already running through the day's plans, and before you even take your first breath of morning air, you're on your feet. The heart hasn't caught up yet. It's like asking your car engine to go from 0 to 60 in 1 second. It sputters. That's exactly what happens inside your body. The 3-minute rule gives your heart and brain the courtesy of time. What I love about this practice is that it doesn't require money, medication, or even equipment. It only asks for patience, a rare thing in today's world. 3 minutes may not sound like much, but imagine what those moments can do. They give your body a chance to stabilize blood flow, your mind a chance to center itself, and your nervous system a chance to find calm before the day begins. I often tell my patients that the body is like an orchestra. It plays best when everyone starts on the same beat. The story of Mr. Daniel didn't end with fear. It ended with gratitude. He began practicing the 3-minute rule every morning. He told me that not only did his dizziness vanish, but he also started feeling calmer throughout the day. His mornings no longer began in a rush, but with rhythm. He'd sit on the edge of his bed, take slow breaths, move his shoulders, stretch his legs, and then stand. He said it made him feel in control again. "It's funny, Doc," he told me. It's like my body and I finally learned to start the day together. So, if you're listening right now, I want you to think about how you begin your mornings. Are you rushing from the very first second, or are you giving your body time to join you? In a world that celebrates speed, slowness might just be the thing that saves us. The 3-minute rule isn't a trend. It's a reminder that your body deserves respect, especially after a lifetime of serving you. 3 minutes of care each morning can mean 3 decades of healthier living. In the next part, we'll explore what exactly happens inside your body during those first few minutes, the changes in blood pressure, heart rate, and brain oxygen levels, and why this simple habit can reduce your risk of stroke, heart attack, fainting. But for now, just remember this: when you wake up tomorrow, don't rush. Sit. Breathe. Listen. Those 3 minutes might just be the most important ones of your day, and maybe even of your life. When you first wake up in the morning, your body goes through one of the most delicate transitions of the day. For hours while you're asleep, everything slows down: your heartbeat, your breathing, your blood pressure. Your brain, although still active in its dream state, operates with less oxygen demand. It's a time of repair, of quiet restoration. But the moment you open your eyes and decide to move, a shift begins. Your heart must suddenly work harder to pump blood upward against gravity. Your blood vessels, which have been relaxed through the night, must tighten slightly to push circulation toward your brain. Your muscles, joints, and nervous system wake up all at once, like a city coming alive after a long, silent night. That instant surge in demand can be overwhelming, especially if you stand too fast. And that's where the 3-minute rule makes its magic. Those 3 minutes act as a bridge between rest and movement. Think of your body as a grand orchestra, one that has been silent all night. You wouldn't expect every instrument to play in perfect tune. The second the curtain rises, you'd let them warm up first. The same goes for your heart, your brain, and your muscles. When you sit on the edge of your bed and wait, your cardiovascular system has time to reawaken gradually. Blood redistributes evenly, oxygen reaches your brain at a stable pace, and your reflexes sharpen. Without that adjustment period, your brain might experience a temporary drop in blood flow, a condition we call orthostatic hypotension. You might feel lightheaded, dizzy, or even faint, not because you're weak, but because your body simply didn't have enough time to adjust. In seniors, this is particularly common. As we age, our blood vessels lose elasticity, our heart's response slows slightly, and the sensors that detect pressure changes in the arteries, called baroreceptors, become less sensitive. It's not a flaw, it's just biology. The 3-minute rule gives those sensors time to wake up and recalibrate. It's like letting the thermostat adjust before you turn on the heater. In those short moments, you're teaching your body to synchronize again. Inside your brain, something else remarkable happens during those few minutes. As oxygen levels stabilize, the brain's control centers for balance, coordination, and alertness begin to light up. Your vision sharpens, your hearing becomes clearer, and your focus strengthens. These might seem like small details, but together they create stability, physical and mental. When you skip this process, your brain has to work harder to catch up, which can lead to confusion, slower reaction times, or even a higher risk of falling. Every fall in a senior's life carries potential danger, not just from broken bones, but from the stress it places on the body's entire system. The 3-minute rule is not just about avoiding dizziness, it's about preserving calm, clarity, and control. I often tell my patients that it's the simplest form of self-checkup. In those 3 minutes, you can spot things you might otherwise miss. Trembling hands, blurred vision, shortness of breath, a sense of imbalance. These aren't just passing quirks. They're early signals your body sends before something bigger happens. If you learn to listen to them, you can prevent emergencies before they unfold. Imagine it this way. When you rise too quickly, your blood rushes downward toward your legs. It takes a few seconds for the veins to push it back up, and if that delay stretches too long, your brain's oxygen supply drops. In younger bodies, the correction happens instantly. But for older adults, the feedback loop slows. The heart needs a nudge, the vessels need a reminder, and the brain needs time to reorient itself. The 3-minute rule is that nudge. It's a pause that allows your natural systems to catch up with your willpower. Some of my patients combine this with a breathing practice I teach them. Before getting up, take 3 slow breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. The deep inhale wakes up the diaphragm and gently massages the heart, while the exhale relaxes the nervous system. Breathing posture and circulation all work together. One small change, a slower morning rhythm, can transform your entire cardiovascular stability. Science supports this too. Studies show that morning spikes in blood pressure and heart rate are major contributors to cardiovascular events, like strokes and heart attacks. These spikes happen because the body is suddenly flooded with adrenaline and stress hormones as it transitions from sleep to wakefulness. The 3-minute rule dampens that surge, keeping your pressure stable and your heart rhythm smooth. It's the difference between waking up peacefully and jolting your body into crisis mode. And beyond physiology, there's something deeply human about those 3 minutes. It's not just a medical trick. It's a moment of mindfulness. When you allow yourself to wake slowly, you start your day with intention instead of reaction. You give your body time to catch up with your mind. You remind yourself that aging gracefully isn't about fighting time, it's about respecting it. So tomorrow, when you wake up before your feet touch the floor, take those 3 minutes. Sit on the edge of your bed. Feel your breath, feel your chest. Notice your heartbeat finding its rhythm. Roll your shoulders, gently stretch your fingers, circle your ankles. These small movements are messages to your body. We're awake now, but we're not rushing. Let your body answer back. It will thank you in ways you can't see. With steadier steps, a clearer head, and a heart that begins each day not in panic but in peace. In the next part, we'll explore exactly how to apply the 3-minute rule step by step, so you can make it part of your daily life. You'll learn how to structure your mornings in a way that not only stabilizes your blood flow, but sets a calm, positive tone for the rest of your day. Because when you master those first 3 minutes, the rest of the day tends to follow beautifully. Now that we understand what's happening inside your body during those first few moments after waking, let's talk about how to actually put the 3-minute rule into practice. Because knowledge means little if it doesn't turn into habit. The beauty of this routine is that it fits effortlessly into any morning. It's free, it's simple, and it can be done anywhere, whether you're in your bedroom, a hospital bed, or even sitting in your favorite chair for an afternoon nap. All it takes is awareness, patience, and 3 minutes of your time. Here's how I teach it to my patients. When you first wake up, don't rush to sit up right away. Stay lying down for a few seconds and take 3 slow, deep breaths. Feel your chest rise and fall. This small act signals your body that it's time to transition. Breathing slowly wakes up your lungs and gently nudges your heart to start working a little harder without shocking it. I tell my patients to imagine they're greeting their body with kindness instead of commands. You're not saying get up now, you're saying good morning, let's wake together. Next, roll gently onto your side and sit up slowly. This movement helps your blood flow redistribute from your core toward your brain. Keep your feet resting flat on the floor or hanging off the bed. This is your 2nd minute. Use it to stretch lightly, roll your shoulders, circle your wrists, bend your ankles, move your neck side to side. Nothing forceful, just slow, natural motion. These stretches don't just loosen your muscles, they also send signals through your nervous system that it's time to balance, coordinate, and stabilize. Many seniors tell me they feel less stiff throughout the day when they start the morning this way. During the 3rd minute, stay seated and take stock of your body. This is what I call the morning check-in. Ask yourself, how does my head feel? Is my vision clear? Is my heart racing? Do I feel any numbness, heaviness, or imbalance? This is your chance to notice small things before they become big things. Maybe your leg feels weaker than usual. Maybe you feel dizzy for a second. Maybe your chest feels tight. These are the kinds of whispers we often ignore. But when you practice this daily, you begin to notice patterns, and that awareness is power. After 3 minutes, when you finally stand, do it gently. Don't spring up like a teenager late for work. Place your feet firmly on the ground, feel your balance and rise slowly, keeping your breathing steady. I often tell my patients to smile as they do this, not because smiling changes your physiology, but because it sets a tone of gratitude. You're awake, you're standing, and your body is cooperating. That deserves a moment of appreciation. Now, for those who like to structure their mornings more intentionally, I suggest pairing the 3-minute rule with a glass of water right after you stand. Dehydration thickens the blood and makes the heart work harder. Drinking water first thing helps kickstart your circulation and metabolism. Keep a glass by your bedside so it's easy to reach. You can even add a few drops of lemon for taste and vitamin C. This simple act completes the transition breath movement awareness hydration. It's like giving your body its morning checklist before the day truly begins. For people with balance problems, I recommend adding one extra step. Sit and march your legs gently in place for 30 seconds before standing. This helps pump blood upward and ensures your body is ready for upright posture. If you use a cane or walker, keep it nearby not because you always need it, but because it gives you confidence. And confidence prevents sudden panicked movements, which are often what cause falls. One of my patients, Mrs. Evans, once told me she'd been falling every few months, usually right after getting out of bed. She thought it was weakness or aging. When I taught her the 3-minute rule, she began practicing it religiously. After 3 months, she hadn't fallen once. "It's strange, doctor," she said, "but it's not just my body that feels steadier, it's my mind too." That's the hidden gift of this rule. It doesn't just strengthen your body, it strengthens your relationship with your body. It transforms mornings from a blur of automatic motion into a mindful ritual of connection. If you travel or stay in hotels, remember that the rule still applies. Jet lag, unfamiliar beds, and dehydration can make you even more vulnerable to dizziness or imbalance. Your body doesn't care where you are. It still needs those 3 minutes to reset. I've even had patients tell me they practice the 3-minute rule after sitting for long periods, like during long drives or movie nights. It helps prevent stiffness, swelling, and even blood clots in the legs. Some people ask, "Can I use this rule in the evening too?" Absolutely. Taking 3 quiet minutes before bed, slowing your breath, checking in with your body, does the opposite transition. It signals your system to power down to prepare for rest. Whether you're waking or sleeping, these small pauses are like punctuation marks in the story of your day. They give your body rhythm and balance. The 3-minute rule is less about time and more about attention. You could take 1 minute or 5, but the real value is in slowing down enough to notice. In a culture that praises speed, it's revolutionary to say, "I will move gently." Yet that gentleness is exactly what keeps you alive longer and feeling better. When I ask my patients months later how the 3-minute rule has changed them, they often say the same thing. "It makes me feel safe." And that's the point. Safety doesn't come from never falling or never getting sick. It comes from knowing your body, understanding it, and giving it what it needs. 3 minutes a day might not seem like much, but it builds a foundation of awareness that protects you for years. In the next part, we'll explore the deeper science of why this small daily ritual works so well, how it stabilizes blood pressure, reduces inflammation, and trains your nervous system to stay balanced under pressure. Because behind its simplicity lies powerful biology that proves the best medicine often begins with patience. You might be wondering, how can 3 minutes make such a difference inside something as complex as the human body? The answer lies in how beautifully balanced, yet delicately tuned your internal systems are. Your heart, your brain, and your blood vessels work like partners in a well-rehearsed dance. Every step depends on timing. When you wake up, that choreography restarts, and if one partner moves too fast, the whole rhythm stumbles. Let's start with the heart and blood pressure. During sleep, your body operates in low-power mode. Your heart rate drops, your arteries relax, and your blood pressure can fall by as much as 15 or 20 points. This is perfectly normal. It gives your vessels a chance to rest. But when you suddenly stand, gravity pulls blood downward toward your legs. For a few seconds, your brain receives less oxygen. Your body senses that dip and releases adrenaline to push the pressure back up, but that reaction isn't instant. In younger adults, it takes a heartbeat. In older adults, it can take up to 2 or 3 minutes. That's why the 3-minute rule aligns perfectly with the body's natural adjustment time. It allows pressure to stabilize before you demand full performance from your heart. Now think about your nervous system, the control tower that manages every signal. It runs 2 branches. One speeds things up the sympathetic system, and the other calms them down the parasympathetic system. When you leap out of bed, you slam the accelerator before the brakes are ready. Your pulse spikes, blood vessels tighten, and stress hormones flood the system. The 3-minute pause acts like a buffer, giving both branches time to coordinate. It turns what could be a jolt into a gentle awakening. Over months of practice, this small act trains your autonomic nervous system to stay balanced longer, reducing daily stress levels without you even noticing. Let's move to the brain. The brain consumes about 20% of your body's oxygen even when you're resting. It depends on a steady flow of blood to feed its billions of neurons. When that flow falters even for seconds, you might feel dizzy, see spots, or lose focus. Scientists call this transient cerebral hypoperfusion. But most people just call it that lightheaded moment. It's harmless once or twice, but repeated daily year after year, it can wear down your vascular resilience. By sitting still for a few moments, you allow blood to reach the brain evenly. You also help maintain the delicate blood-brain barrier, a filter that protects your mind from toxins and inflammation. A healthy barrier is one of the best defenses against cognitive decline. The muscles and joints benefit too. Overnight, the body cools slightly, and your muscles shorten just a bit, like elastic bands left in the cold. Moving gently for a couple of minutes warms them up again, lubricates your joints, and prevents micro-injuries that often happen when people start their day too abruptly. The stiffness many seniors feel in the morning isn't just aging. It's a sign that the body hasn't fully restarted circulation to the extremities. Those few minutes of gentle stretching act like opening the windows of your house to let in fresh air. On a deeper chemical level, those first few minutes influence your hormones. When you wake cortisol, a stress hormone naturally rises to prepare you for activity. If you rush, cortisol surges too high, leading to jitteriness, elevated blood sugar, and inflammation. But if you move slowly, breathing calmly, you smooth that curve. Your body releases endorphins, and nitric oxide instead, compounds that relax vessels and enhance blood flow. Nitric oxide in particular is a silent hero. It tells arteries to open wider, lowering blood pressure and improving oxygen delivery. The 3-minute routine literally primes your chemistry for balance instead of battle. There's another hidden benefit: protecting your heart rhythm. Many seniors live with mild irregularities, sometimes called benign arrhythmias. Sudden position changes can trigger palpitations because of shifts in blood return to the heart. The gradual transition of the 3-minute rule keeps that flow steady, preventing those skipped beats that can cause anxiety or even fainting. Over time, this routine strengthens your baroreceptor reflex, the body's built-in pressure sensor, so it reacts more efficiently to daily stress. From a broader perspective, the rule also supports brain-heart communication. Researchers call this heart-brain coherence, a fancy term for how rhythm in one organ affects calmness in the other. When your heartbeat and breathing sync through slow movement and awareness, signals from the heart travel upwards, soothing the emotional centers of the brain. That's why people who practice mindful waking often report feeling less anxious throughout the day. It's not magic, it's neurology in harmony. And here's something most people don't realize. These 3 minutes can also improve metabolic health. By giving your circulation time to normalize before eating breakfast or taking medication, you ensure that nutrients and drugs are absorbed predictably. Many side effects from morning medicines, especially for blood pressure or diabetes, happen because people take them right after leaping out of bed, when their body is still adjusting. A short pause can make treatment safer and more effective. When you repeat this daily, the effects compound. After several weeks, your resting blood pressure may stabilize. Your heart learns to respond more efficiently to posture changes. Your mind becomes more alert upon waking. You might even find your mood lifting because a calm start lowers cortisol and sets the emotional tone for the next 16 hours. The science calls it improved circadian alignment. I simply call it starting the day in peace. So while 3 minutes may sound trivial, those minutes ripple through every system of your body. They guard your brain, steady your heart, and teach your nerves a new rhythm of patience. Think of it as a conversation between you and your biology. You promise not to rush it, and in return, it promises to protect you. That's the kind of partnership that turns aging from a battle into a dialogue. In the next part, we'll explore how this small ritual extends beyond the morning, how slowing down at key moments during your day can stabilize energy, sharpen focus, and protect your heart long-term. Because the principle behind the 3-minute rule isn't limited to mornings. It's a mindset, a quiet rhythm of care that once learned stays with you for life. The beauty of the 3-minute rule is that it doesn't just belong to your mornings. It can quietly transform your entire day. Once you understand the rhythm of your body, you begin to notice that every transition, waking, standing, eating, resting, even arguing, has its own fragile window where balance can be lost or found. Those 3 minutes are like anchors. They give you time to stabilize before you move from one state to another. The older we get, the more important these anchors become. Let's start with after meals. Many people feel sleepy or lightheaded right after eating. This happens because blood rushes to the stomach to aid digestion temporarily, leaving the brain and muscles with less oxygen. For seniors, that can mean post-meal dizziness or even fainting, something doctors call postprandial hypotension. Taking 3 minutes to sit quietly after eating, breathing slowly, and allowing your body to digest before standing can make a world of difference. Instead of clearing the dishes right away, stay seated, sip a little water, and let your body settle. Those small moments protect you from sudden blood pressure drops. Now consider after exercise or physical activity. Whether it's a walk, light gardening, or stretching, resist the urge to plop down or rush to the next task. Give your body 3 minutes to cool down gradually. During that time, your heart rate returns to normal, lactic acid begins to clear, and your blood pressure stabilizes. I often tell my patients that recovery is not laziness, it's biology. When you honor that pause, you train your heart to recover faster, your vessels to adapt, and your body to maintain stability under stress. The rule also applies beautifully before bedtime. Just as your body needs time to wake up, it needs time to power down. Instead of turning off the lights and immediately closing your eyes, give yourself 3 quiet minutes. Sit or lie back, take slow breaths, relax your shoulders, and let your thoughts drift away from the noise of the day. This helps lower cortisol and signals to your nervous system that it's safe to rest. Patients who do this often report deeper, more restorative sleep. It's a full circle rhythm: 3 minutes to rise, 3 minutes to rest. There's another critical moment where the rule shines after emotional stress. When you've had an argument, received bad news, or even watched something upsetting on television, your body reacts with a spike of adrenaline. Your heart beats faster. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your blood vessels tighten. This fight or flight response was designed for survival. But if left unchecked, it strains your heart and mind. Taking 3 minutes to sit quietly, breathe deeply, and let your system recalibrate can prevent those stress spikes from turning into physical symptoms. I've seen patients who turned this small pause into their secret for staying calm in chaos. The 3-minute rule also works when standing after sitting for long periods, like watching a movie or traveling. Our circulation slows when we sit too long, especially in the legs. Jumping up suddenly can cause dizziness or even trigger a small drop in blood pressure. So when you finish a film, take 3 minutes. Wiggle your toes, flex your calves, move your feet. Let your blood start flowing before you stand. It's not weakness. It's wisdom. You're letting gravity work with you, not against you. What's truly remarkable is how these pauses, these simple, mindful 3 minutes, start changing the way people live. Over time, they build what I call body intelligence. You begin to notice patterns when you get tired, when you feel steady when stress builds. You learn your own rhythms. That awareness helps you act earlier, prevent fatigue, avoid injuries, and maintain balance physically and emotionally. It's like upgrading your relationship with your body from command and control to listen and respond. There's also a profound psychological effect. When you slow down intentionally, you reduce mental clutter. Modern life teaches us to rush, finish the task, answer the call, move to the next thing. But our biology hasn't evolved for constant motion. Taking 3 minutes between moments creates small pockets of calm where the brain can breathe. This steadiness ripples outward. It lowers anxiety, sharpens focus, and makes daily life feel less chaotic. One of my patients, a 70-year-old man named Robert, told me that he started practicing the 3-minute rule at work. He'd pause 3 minutes before every meeting, every phone call, every big decision. "It's strange," he said, "but people started calling me the calmest man in the room." That's the essence of this habit. It's not about sitting still, it's about returning to balance. When you honor those small pauses, you're not losing time, you're gaining health. The heart learns steadiness. The mind learns patience. The body learns safety. And when those 3 align, you age, not just longer, but better. I often remind people, longevity isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. The 3-minute rule may not make you immortal, but it helps ensure the time you have is lived with grace and awareness. It teaches you to trust your body again, to feel its signals, to cooperate with it rather than fight it. And in a world that measures success by how quickly we move, the courage to slow down becomes its own kind of strength. So whether you're waking, eating, resting, or simply taking a break between moments, remember this rule: 3 minutes. To notice, 3 minutes. To breathe, 3 minutes to reset. That small space of awareness might be invisible to others, but inside you, it's where healing begins. In the next part, we'll explore how this practice ties into long-term heart and brain health, how consistency, not intensity, rewires your physiology and shapes your emotional resilience for years to come. Because when you master the art of the pause, you don't just prevent illness, you cultivate vitality. Now that we've talked about recognizing the warning signs, let's turn our focus to prevention. How to protect your brain before trouble ever begins. Because the truth is, most strokes don't come out of nowhere. They're built slowly, day by day, through habits, stress, and small decisions. The good news is that we can rebuild our protection the same way through steady, daily choices that strengthen the brain, the heart, and the vessels connecting them. Let's start with blood pressure. The most important number you can know. High blood pressure quietly weakens the walls of your arteries, making them stiff and brittle. Over time, even small spikes can cause tiny tears, where plaque begins to form. The goal is to keep your blood pressure under control, ideally around 120/80. But it's different for everyone. Measure it at home at least once a day, especially in the morning. Treat that reading like a conversation with your heart. When you see the numbers creeping up, that's your cue to take action, rest more, move more, or speak with your doctor. Think of your blood vessels as garden hoses. When the pressure is too high for too long, the walls begin to crack. Keeping that flow gentle preserves everything. Next, let's talk about movement. Exercise doesn't have to be intense to be effective. The brain loves motion. Even short walks increase blood circulation, bringing oxygen to every corner of your neural network. Sample activities like chair yoga, tai chi, stretching, or gardening keep your arteries flexible and your heart strong. What matters most isn't speed, it's consistency. 15 to 20 minutes a day is enough to signal your body. Keep the blood flowing. Keep the mind sharp. Imagine movement as your brain's favorite food. Each step feeds your neurons a little more life. Now, hydration. Most seniors don't drink enough water because the sense of thirst fades with age. But dehydration thickens your blood and slows its flow, increasing the risk of clots. Aim for a glass of water every couple of hours. Even if you don't feel thirsty, add lemon slices or herbal tea if plain water feels dull. Hydration is one of the simplest, cheapest forms of stroke prevention there is. Then there's nutrition, which is where real healing begins. Food can either clog your arteries or clean them. A diet rich and whole, colorful foods gives your body the building blocks it needs to repair itself. Focus on what I call the Brain Saver 5. Omega-3 fats from salmon, flaxseed, walnuts, or chia seeds. They reduce inflammation and make your blood less sticky. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, or bok choy, which are rich in folate and magnesium nutrients that relax arteries and stabilize blood pressure. Berries and citrus fruits, packed with antioxidants that protect your brain cells from free radical damage. Whole grains like oats, barley, and brown rice that stabilize blood sugar and keep energy steady. Olive oil and avocados, filled with healthy fats that strengthen your vessel walls. And yes, dark chocolate, real dark chocolate. At least 70% cocoa has compounds that improve circulation. A small square a day can actually help your heart. Let's not forget vitamins and minerals. Your body is a network of chemistry, and certain nutrients directly influence stroke risk. Vitamin B6, B12, and folate reduce homocysteine, a compound that damages vessel linings. Magnesium relaxes muscles, including the ones around your arteries, and keeps blood pressure steady. Vitamin D supports both your heart rhythm and brain function, especially if you don't get much sunlight. Potassium, found in bananas, oranges, and sweet potatoes, balances sodium and prevents pressure buildup. CoQ10, a natural antioxidant, fuels the energy centers of your cells, especially those in the heart. If you're not sure whether you're getting enough, ask your doctor to check your levels. The goal isn't to take every supplement, but to give your body what it truly needs. Let's move to sleep. One of the most underestimated medicines. During deep sleep, your brain clears away waste products that accumulate during the day, tiny bits of metabolic debris that, if left unchecked, contribute to inflammation and blood vessel aging. Poor sleep raises cortisol, the stress hormone that tightens arteries and spikes blood pressure. So build a bedtime routine. Turn off screens. Keep the room cool. And let your mind slow down. 7 to 8 hours of good sleep each night is like sending your brain to the repair shop. Stress also plays a huge role in stroke risk. Chronic stress keeps your body on alert, your vessels constricted, and your heart overworked. You can't remove stress entirely, but you can release it. Practice deep breathing, gentle stretching, prayer, or meditation, whatever brings you calm. Remember, calm is not weakness. Calm is chemistry. When you calm your mind, your blood pressure drops, your vessels relax, and your brain thrives. There's also one hidden danger many seniors overlook: heart rhythm changes, especially atrial fibrillation, or AFib. It's an irregular heartbeat that allows blood to pool in the heart and form clots. Those clots can travel straight to the brain. You might not feel it at all, or maybe you'll notice a flutter in your chest, or a skipped beat now and then. Regular checkups and EKG screenings can detect it early, and simple medication can prevent devastating strokes. Finally, let's talk about small daily choices. The ones that seem too simple to matter but add up to everything. Don't smoke, because every puff starves your brain of oxygen. Limit alcohol, because it raises blood pressure and dehydrates you. Take your prescribed medications faithfully, and whenever possible, surround yourself with connection family, friends, community. Loneliness increases inflammation and blood pressure, just like a poor diet does. Staying socially engaged is one of the most powerful protectors of both heart and brain. Your health is not just about avoiding illness, it's about building resilience. Every step, every glass of water, every good night's sleep is an investment in your future self. The human body has an incredible ability to heal when you give it the right environment. You can't control everything, but you can control what you eat, how you move, how you rest, and how you respond to stress. Those choices are your daily medicine, your lifelong protection. In the next and final part, we'll talk about what happens after stroke, how recovery works, what hope looks like, and why listening to your body with compassion can make all the difference. Because prevention isn't just about avoiding tragedy, it's about creating a life where your brain, your body, and your spirit work together in harmony. I want you to take a moment and imagine tomorrow morning. The sun hasn't quite risen yet, the air is still cool, and your room is quiet. You open your eyes slowly. Maybe the light filters softly through the curtains. Maybe you hear the birds outside or the hum of the city waking up. Before you move, before the thoughts of the day flood in, you remember these words. 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes to breathe, to notice, to be alive. You sit up, gently place your feet on the ground, and you feel your heartbeat steady beneath your chest. You're not rushing anywhere. You're simply present. That's the moment when your body says thank you. Over the years, I've learned that health isn't measured only in heart rates, test results, or prescriptions. It's measured in awareness and how well you listen to your body's whispers before they become cries for help. The 3-minute rule is one of the simplest ways to listen. It's a conversation that starts each morning between you and your body. You ask, "How are you?" And your body answers not in words but in feelings, balance, warmth, and breath. I've watched people transform because of this practice. One woman told me she used to dread mornings. She would wake up anxious, dizzy, afraid that something was wrong with her heart. But after a few weeks of practicing the 3-minute rule, she said her mornings felt different, calmer, safer. She said, "I still have the same heart, the same age, but now I start the day with trust instead of fear." That's what this rule does. It builds trust. It teaches you that your body is not your enemy, it's your oldest companion. Think about all the years your heart has worked for you, millions of beats, never taking a break, never asking for attention. Think about your brain storing your memories, your laughter, the stories you've lived. Think about your legs that have carried you through childhood, work, love, and loss. All your body asks in return is 3 minutes of patience each morning. It's not much to give, but it means everything. Sometimes people tell me, "Doctor, I wish I'd started taking care of myself earlier." And I always smile and say, the body forgives more than you think. It's never too late to start a good habit, and the 3-minute rule is one of the gentlest beginnings you can offer yourself. No equipment, no appointments, no schedule, just presence. It's a promise that every new day is a chance to begin again carefully and kindly. When you practice this long enough, you start noticing something wonderful. The calm you feel in those 3 minutes doesn't stay confined to the morning it follows you. You carry it into breakfast, into conversations, into traffic, into life. You react slower. You breathe deeper. And even stressful moments seem easier to handle. You're not just protecting your heart, you're shaping your temperament. And something else happens too. People around you notice. Your spouse, your children, your friends, they see the calm in your voice, the steadiness in your walk, the glow in your eyes. You become proof that slowing down doesn't mean giving up. It means showing up fully for your own life. I've seen families change because one person decided to slow down. A husband started doing the 3-minute rule with his wife every morning. He'd say, "Let's wake up together slowly." It became their quiet ritual, a shared peace that lasted long after breakfast. That's what I hope for you, not just to live longer, but to live deeper. To give yourself the grace of time, the strength of patience, and the comfort of routine. If every senior in the world took just 3 minutes each morning to breathe, stretch, and listen, we would see fewer falls, fewer strokes, fewer broken hearts, both literal and emotional. We'd see more smiles, more calm breakfasts, more moments of gratitude. I know life can be noisy. Even in retirement, there's laundry to fold, appointments to make, people to care for. But amid all of that, you deserve your 3 minutes. They belong to you. Guard them. Treat them as sacred. They are your daily pause between night and day, between rest and effort, between the world and yourself. And if you ever forget why it matters, remember this. The most important moments of life rarely announce themselves. A heartbeat too fast, a step too quick, a breath too shallow. These are small things that can change everything. But when you give yourself 3 minutes of care, you build a barrier between fragility and strength. You give your body a chance to recover, your mind a chance to settle, and your heart a chance to lead. So tomorrow morning when you wake, whisper this to yourself. Slow down, sit up, breathe, feel. You'll be surprised at how much your body remembers that language. Over time, these 3 minutes will become your daily prayer, a ritual of health, of gratitude, of renewal. And when someone asks you how you manage to stay calm, steady, and strong, you can smile and tell them your secret. It only takes 3 minutes. Because sometimes the smallest moments hold the greatest power. Sometimes 3 minutes can truly save a life, maybe even yours.